Hello everyone, I'm the Weather Dude. Welcome back, and today is the video I've been waiting to do for a long time. We've got not one, but several major winter storms to talk about today. So without further ado, stay tuned and enjoy. Before we get started with the video though, if you guys have not already, please consider subscribing. It really does help my channel grow. I want to thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. We've flown past, and hopefully we can hit our next goal of 3,000 subscribers soon. And also, to help this video reach more people, please consider liking and sharing it as well. And let's get into the video now. And of course, make sure you stay tuned till the end to get the best weather forecast. And trust me guys, you guys are going to want to stay to the end today because we have a lot to talk about. We have one, two, maybe even a third, but we're only going to talk about the first two potential winter storms today. One we're more confident in than the other. The third one's going to be like a week from now if it even does, if the storm does actually form, but we're not going to talk about that when it's really far out. We have two storms coming today, or not, they're not coming today, but we're going to be talking about them today, and I'm really excited to talk about it. So just to get, and you still do want to talk about, again, we do have above average temperatures for the middle part of the country going through very end of January and beginning of February, but below average temperatures expected for the East Coast. And of course, also we do have some below average precipitation for the Southeast, for the Southern Plains, West Coast, and maybe even the East Coast could see some precip as well, but West Coast has a better chance of seeing above average precip. And just to get our oscillations out of the way here, again, PNA is dipping a little bit down, which is actually not good for producing cold and snow for the central and east part of the United States, but it will actually go back up beginning of February. As for our NAO, it's still staying down until beginning of February. Not all three of these oscillations always have to correlate with each other, but they do sometimes. And AO will stay pretty low, so that's our lifesaver there. Our Arctic oscillation will be staying pretty low, and that's going to help supply some cold air as well. But we are getting into the models. So here's the thing. GFS, we have data coming in, and like I said on this website now, GFS actually, it operates in 3-hour intervals, not 6-hour intervals, and I love it so much better just because you can get a more detailed look. So we have our GFS model, we have our European, Canadian model, and a bonus model towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Little spoiler, it's not the NAM model because NAM model, it doesn't quite go out far enough yet because it only goes out 84 hours, but once, hopefully tomorrow or the next day, we should be able to use the NAM model to really track this. So far, we're getting our latest run of the GFS here, so we're definitely getting the latest data coming in. I think it goes out about 5 days, so we'll see if we can get the data to show for the GFS, but let's get right into it here. All right, starting with, of course, the first system. This is the one we're really going to be talking about, and a lot of the models show it. The second system, so the first system, so here's like the breakdown. First system comes in, makes its way through Monday. You're going to see it form across the Midwest on Monday. It's going to be on the East Coast, like Mid-Atlantic region, very late Monday into Tuesday. As you can see, though, the precipitation is already starting. Now, GFS last, like, say, 4, 5, 6 model runs have been a little bit, I wouldn't say degrading on the storm, but you can see there's just spotty areas of cold air, like Chicago. We have some ice in Ohio. We got some snow, ice, and a whole mixed bag of mix as well. For like Pennsylvania, for Maryland, for Virginia, West Virginia. So it doesn't look like an organized band of heavy snow, ice, sleet. It doesn't look too organized, although it's really going to try to get its act together here. And look at the low forming, look at the magenta. If you see magentas in terms like snowfall, not the pink like the ice, but I'm talking about the magenta for like over here that you see for the snow, that is serious snowfall rates, like 1-2+ inches per hour probably in that magenta color. The dark blue means heavy snow, but magenta, I would almost say whiteout conditions at times. All right, and you can see this is 8 p.m., 7 to 8 p.m. on Monday. We got some snow, sleet, and mix for anywhere like northern Delaware. We got Baltimore, Washington, D.C. Very heavy ice continuing for eastern West Virginia. We got ice total maps as well, not just snow total maps. Central western Pennsylvania, snow and sleet mixture as well. All right, but look at the ice. It just doesn't move. This is going to be a very dangerous ice storm. Now that I look at the latest model run of the GFS for the Mid-Atlantic, just this quarter here from northeastern Maryland, maybe around Millville, New Jersey, including northern Delaware, including DC, if I didn't mention that already, Northern Virginia and Eastern West Virginia. I just want you guys to watch this area. This is 7 or 8 p.m. on Monday. And there is, like, that's 3 hours later. The ice has literally not moved. The area of ice has literally not moved at all. All right? Even in another 3 hours, it really hasn't moved too far to the north. So this could be a pretty dangerous ice storm. And you can see, and also, watch that area of magenta you see in northern Illinois here, okay? Look how it just moves right through Chicago. That magenta state, it holds together some very heavy snow in those regions. We got ice, like literally northeastern Maryland and like just like the Philadelphia to DC region might be in ice for like 90% of the time. And this storm's going to last for like 12 plus hours. So this is going to be a pretty dangerous event here. And then the low kind of winds up a little bit, and then it's kind of tapering off. All right, so that's storm number 1. Now we're just going to go look real quick at our 5,000 feet temperatures. We're going to get to the second storm, if there is a second storm. We're still not certain of it. But I want to take a look just at the 5,000 feet temperatures. And that's really going to be key because in these areas that have the ice, you can see there's no blue at 5,000 feet, meaning we are above freezing at 5,000 feet. But at the surface is where we're going to get really cold. Now, as we get more certainty with it, ice is it's a little bit more difficult to forecast than the snow, so definitely stay tuned for more updates on the ice. We still have ice total mass to show as well, so definitely stick around, coming very soon. All right, but still, we're going to have and then once the storm leaves, we start getting back below freezing, maybe at 5,000 feet. But other than that, staying above freezing at 5,000 feet, freezing or below freezing at the surface, and that's how you get your ice to form. Look at some of these ice totals. Eastern West Virginia and Northern Virginia, inch and a half. Northeastern Maryland, 0.6. Even northern Delaware, 0.4 inches. Even more than a quarter of an inch for western Jersey. And western New Jersey didn't even look so bad on the precip map. But yeah, a quarter of an inch is like deadly ice. Like half inch here, like so very deadly ice. And I gotta admit, if you're sledding, trust me, take some advice from a person who sleds. You actually want a little bit of ice on top of the snow because it helps you go a lot faster and it's really fun. But ice is very dangerous to travel in. Of course, we all know that. Both you and I know that. Now, looking at the snow totals, again, just from storm number 1, Monday into Tuesday, storm number 1 here, you can see Washington actually really isn't going to see any snow. Really not Baltimore either, but maybe Philly points north, maybe 2 or 3 inches of snow. Again, this could still change. This has been changing pretty drastically from model run to model run, so just keep that in mind. But look at Chicago there, where those magentas were that I showed you. Look at this. We're talking about 12 to 16 inches for Chicago, and that includes downtown as well. All right, we got 6 to 10 for places like northern PA, southern New York. When this storm first came into fruition, like I was first starting to look at it quite a few days ago, most of the snow looked like it was going to be in the Mid-Atlantic and not really anywhere else. And it's kind of moved a little bit north. It can still move back south. And just because the area of snow has moved north doesn't mean the Mid-Atlantic is not going to get snow. Oh, trust me, you guys will still get snow as it's looking right now, or at least some of it. All right, now I'm going to go back to the precip map on the GFS model and show you storm number 2. And I honestly haven't really looked at this model run yet. Again, it's just coming out. But look at storm number 2 now. This is Thursday now. Okay, just to give you, if you guys want to go look as well, 12Z GFS model run had literally like the Mid-Atlantic was going to see no snow from the second system. It was all actually in the southeast is where all the snow was. Now, look at this. All right. Like Thursday's storm, we have to, even though this storm is going to be pretty significant, we got to look into Thursday's storm because this could be a beast, all right? Even bigger than the one that's coming Monday, Tuesday. So here's the snow. You can see more magentas for eastern, tongue twister, huh? Eastern West Virginia and Northern Virginia. Both of these places just saw like over an inch of ice as forecast by GFS, by the way. And then they're going to get pelted by really heavy snow. Look at the snow. Just look at the heavy rain you see that's being produced here. So when that heavy rain moves over that cold air, it becomes heavy snow on the other side of that cold air, on that that dividing line. All right, still very heavy snow, and then the low kind of just sits there, and it just sits there and winds up. So when the low just sits there, winds up and bends back to the south, that allows more snow actually for places like the Mid-Atlantic. And then the low kicks off the shore, and it's all done. So in total. All right, ice, you can see from first storm to second storm, not much more ice. The second storm that comes very late Wednesday, but probably Thursday, will be mostly snow, if anything at all. But look at the snow totals. Boom. Yeah, it just changed a lot, didn't it? All right, I mean, places like Washington had nothing. Now they got like 9 inches. Baltimore's got 10 inches. They really hadn't much before. We're talking about like over a foot of snow for eastern West Virginia, northern Virginia, over a foot, 18 inches actually for even downtown Chicago. All right, and this is just a GFS model. We got a lot more models to show. We got a couple more, so definitely stay tuned as we continue here. Yeah, so it was really good that the newest GFS run came in because I was gonna feel bad because 18Z, like as I was setting this video up, it really wasn't starting to come in yet, and I didn't want to show the 12Z model run when 18Z was coming out. So we got to show the latest GFS run. I'm happy with that, and there was a lot of changes. If you were to go back and look at the 12Z model run, it looks very different. I think the GFS made the first and second storm both more significant for sure. Next model run, the European model, we got the 12Z model run of the European as well. All right. Now, again, here's where it starts out. We got now European. This is the difference with the European versus GFS. GFS still compared to the Euro makes the first storm, Monday to Tuesday storm, a bit weaker, right? Storm number 1. GFS makes it weaker. The European, you can see it's a healthy band of heavy or moderate to heavy snow. You got your classic sleet mixture in the middle, and even overlapping that is some ice as well. A much thinner layer of ice. European not as heavy on the ice, but still a lot of ice here for southwestern Pennsylvania. Maybe even Pittsburgh could get some ice as well. So still some, but not as much as the GFS, I would say, without a doubt. And there could be some snow showers left behind it, but it'll probably be over by the time we wake up on Wednesday. And if the second storm does come, because that's going to be crazy because we got a Monday to Tuesday storm. You're only going to have Wednesday for a break, and then Thursday, potentially, all right, we could be seeing another wave. So European model, all right, we're going to freeze it right here for now. First, let's actually look at our 5,000 feet temperatures. So here it is when the storm is arriving. Let's go Monday afternoon. All right. In some places, 5,000 feet, it may be very warm. As you can see in Ohio and West Virginia here, like it could get as much as like 9 degrees Celsius at 5,000 feet, which is like well into the 40s, I think. Yeah, well into the 40s, maybe even higher than that. All right. Now, if you were to look at the precipitation, right, let's go about like what, 90 hours? So you can see where the air is that warm at 5,000 feet, it's probably going to be rain. But Pennsylvania, right? I mean, it can be a few degrees Celsius at 5,000 feet, right? Close to upper 30s, low 40s. But if the surface is like 30 degrees, that's how you get your ice, right? Warm air in the atmosphere and cold air at the surface. But northern mid-Atlantic and northeast in general will remain below freezing at 5,000 feet. So I think that not as much ice and more sleet and snow to worry about, where the air is supposed to be colder up in the atmosphere. All right, so we pause at our brief intermission here. Oh, sorry, that's the GFS. So European model, again, we're going to go out to 120. We're going to stop at 120 to get our snowfall totals from storm number 1 alone. Actually, a little bit of a spoiler alert, the European really doesn't have much of a second system. All right. Now, snowfall totals, northern mid-Atlantic starting here first. Widespread here, 3 to 6 inches, anywhere from northeastern Maryland, northern Delaware, much of central, southern, and pretty much all of New Jersey, and points northwest from there, central, eastern Pennsylvania, western New York. Pretty much like this entire area here, probably a good 3 to 6, I would say, just from storm number 1 alone. We'll see if European changes their mind and wants to bring the second system back. And then about 6 inches, maybe just over 6 for central PA. And then you look back from, say, Motown, Detroit, all the way back to Chicago, maybe even 6 to 10. So definitely some heavier snow. Again, Midwest is included in this map. If you looked on the left side of your screen, and that's where we have our heavier snowfall total, 6 to 10 inches. Sadly, European does not have a ice map, so we're going to move on to the Canadian model, and the Canadian model looks very interesting. So, Canadian model, here we go. So here's a storm as it's basically arriving. Now, from what it looks like right on this freeze frame, Canadian looks like a hybrid of the GFS and the European, right? Like it's the snow band that develops here, the snow and ice band that develops. It looks more organized than the GFS, but less organized than the European's version of it, I would say. All right, but then as it moves north, it does become fairly well organized. Looks a lot like more like the European model, right? We have a heavy, decent band of snow that's coming in. And that's the thing too. Your temperatures might seem warm, but when that, especially like if you live in the northern mid-Atlantic, temperatures might seem warm, but when that precip arrives, temperatures are going to crash. So may seem like upper 30s, maybe even be 40 for some of you, and like 3 to 6 hours later, it might be down to the upper 20s. So just keep that in mind. Temperatures will be crashing on arrival of the precipitation if Obviously, if you're farther south, then it probably won't happen to you. You'll probably just have some rain, like Southern Virginia, Northern North Carolina. Although GFS at first, if you looked a couple days ago, they were trying to put like 12 inches of snow in Wilmington, North Carolina, which, in case you guys don't know, is all the way like down here. Not saying it can't happen, but very abnormal for a storm of this type. Now, again, Canadian model, have your first system that comes through, right? Brief little intermission, right? Here we go. Let's go about 84 hours out. Look at your 5,000 feet temperatures. Again, it's very local depending on where you are, but that's your, like, north of this black line, your 5,000 feet temperatures are below 32 degrees, and you're most likely not going to have ice, at least, right? You can have some snow or sleet still. Now, snowfall totals going out 5 days, right? Actually, ice totals first. Let's go to ice. And still some very heavy ice. We got some more ice for eastern Indiana, western Ohio, maybe 0.4 inches, half inch over there for southwestern PA, eastern West Virginia. But overall, a good tenth of an inch plus. Some areas, it's not widespread, but some areas will be seeing a quarter of an inch of ice. But widespread, I would say a good widespread tenth of an inch plus. Eastern Illinois, all the way over to New Jersey. And it's not everywhere ice circled in black, but there will be some pretty widespread spots, but not everybody will see the ice either. But it's a pretty dangerous threat nonetheless, widespread or not. But look at the second system, right? Looks a lot like the GFS does. All right, you got your heavy, moderate snow in here. All right, moving through the mid-Atlantic. And again, this starts kind of like overnight Wednesday into early Thursday, and then it'll probably be wrapping up along the I-95 by the time. And remember, on that northwest side of that low, that's your backside, that's your wraparound. You got some very strong winds, very tightly packed iso bars together, and it's going to be a big wind event as well. This storm is like, look at it, just like bombs out almost along the coast. You really can't see that the low moves off the map at this point, but then there you go. So I want you guys to remember this map, right? Actually, let's go to snowfall first. So from first system, again, a widespread 4 to 6 inches across northern mid-Atlantic. Northeast, we got your heavier 6 to 10 back in Midwest. Maybe even, that's probably lake effect snow up there in New York, right? But let's go now to the second system, and it looks very different, right? Now we got like probably 8 to 12 inches for even coastal mid-Atlantic. We got over 12 to 16 inches for, I'd say, like Chincoteague and Assateague Island, parts of the southern Chesapeake could even end up at 12 to 16 on the latest run of the GFS. So this is after the second system. This is after both systems, actually, and this is just from the first one. So the second one looks a lot more significant here, definitely. According to the Canadian model, just one that's always been on the stronger side. As we finish up here, UKMET is our bonus model. Tomorrow and day after, we'll probably look at the NAM model more as well. Good 6 to 8 inches, actually, for northern mid-Atlantic. So they have higher snowfall totals from the first system, also 6 to 8 inches back towards the Midwest. All right, and that's just from your first system with the UKMET. And even UKMET doesn't go out far enough yet, so we can't see the second system on here either. But some snow even further south, Wilmington, North Carolina, maybe even. So some would definitely have to watch. And the Weather Channel, right, we have a good old snowfall map from them. And again, where these 3 snowflakes are, right, we got 2 areas. Midwest, basically northwestern Ohio, back through Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. You got your 5 to 8 region here, and Pennsylvania, northern Maryland, maybe even northern Delaware as well, I would say, southern New York even. You got 2 areas here that could see 5 to 8 inches of snow, and I call that like a moderate / heavy snowfall. So definitely going to be seeing how this one plays out, but watching, definitely got to keep our eyes even more on the second system because it looks like it could be like a nor'easter or a bomb cyclone even. So stay tuned for updates. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time, I will catch you guys in the next video.